Yeah, afternoon, gentlemen. Question for you from Arizona. Work for the Arizona Game and Fish Department.
Nice.
Looking through a couple of scenarios right now for training for some of our new guys, and multiple part question here. And the premise of this question revolves around trail cameras. Are you familiar with trail cameras,
Oh
game
yeah.
cameras?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so that's where we're at. I'll start walking you through the scenario. I can post it in the chat too for folks. Not sure if it'll let me post that much, but
Go
scenario,
ahead.
you're somewhere where you can lawfully be, open desert, no structures or curtilage anywhere nearby.
Yep.
The place where anyone can lawfully be present. There are trail cameras there that are without question being used as unlawful devices to aid in the taking of big game,
Okay.
deer, you name it. The
Okay.
cameras are placed over an illegal bait site. You have
Illegal. You said illegal, right? Illegal.
illegal, correct,
Yep.
illegal
Okay.
bait site.
Okay.
You have ample probable cause to believe that the cameras contain photo evidence of wildlife violations.
Mm-hmm.
The cameras are not permanently installed. They are strapped to a tree
Mm-hmm.
or a T-post. The cameras are in plain view, no effort to hide or disguise them. The cameras are capable of being locked, but the cameras are not locked.
Lock physically or digitally?
Locked physically.
Okay.
Questions for the scenario. Is there an expectation of privacy to the trail cameras? That would be the first question.
Mm-hmm. You want me to try to take this one, Mike?
I mean, I'm just gonna use a cell phone analysis, right? The camera itself, it's accessible to us, but maybe in the internal data inside there, I mean, it's not abandoned. So I feel like there's still, even though it's used for illegal stuff, there would be that probable cause. I feel like the data is not accessible. The camera itself is.
So here's the deal. I do think that a person has a reasonable expectation of privacy in the camera, and we can have a good debate because they're involved in illegal activity. But but we don't ever see cases that, hey, if you are using a device for illegal activity, you don't have privacy. If that was the case, you probably wouldn't need warrants that much, right? So
Correct.
and we know also, well, we don't know, but I think we can make the argument that, and there's not a lot of case on this one, and I teach a lot of wildlife officers and conservation, environmental. I teach a lot of them. In fact, I've been teaching a bunch this week because I'm in South Dakota and they're in my class. And they come up all the time, right? These trail cameras. I got to tell you, like, I don't think they're also abandoned because I mean, I can get you on a stand and you'd be like, are trail cameras like part of hunting? Is that like what people do with hunting? And you're like, yeah, they're very common. You go pick them at Walmart and there's no reason to believe that they're not coming back for them, right? They're in good repair and so forth. Okay. So I think that the answer is that based on, based on, maybe just what, reasonable expectation of privacy, I think they do expect privacy. I think they do expect that these photos are not going to be used for their another hunter, and to help them protected by the Constitution.
Agreed. And that was basically the decision that we came to on that question. The search of the contents of the camera reasonable given the circumstances? So that's not the digital evidence, but that's to actually open up the camera to pull out the SD card, say to look for a name on the SD card or to see if there's a name inside of the camera.
Look, that is a search, right?
Yep.
If the first thing is, does a person have a reasonable expectation of privacy? If the answer is yes, because it's not abandoned, and now look, do not think for 1 second that their criminal activity is not going to play a part, right? Putting a camera in an illegal part is going to be a very important factor that may diminish their reasonable expectation of privacy. So let's just go through that real quick, okay? So reasonable expectation of privacy is a two-part test. It comes from a case called Katz, Katz versus United States, 1967. The first thing is, would a reasonable person believe that they expect privacy, like they're doing what they can to keep their stuff private? Well, I mean, look, I mean, you can debate this, but the trail camera is not like showing the world what's in there. It has a cover on it. It doesn't have a screen that shows whatever it is. But this, so I think yes. I think I'd lean towards yes, but I'm also, maybe a
Yeah.
little. And the second question is this something that society would also deem reasonable? That is probably the best argument in your favor, by the way, because there may be a lot of judges out there that say, look, you're putting trail cameras up illegally. Yeah, you shouldn't expect privacy. You shouldn't expect that the game warden is not going to come over and start searching that thing to find out who the hell is violating the law. God, that's a tough one, But let's
Yeah.
just say that it
Is there a
is,
trespass
huh? Well, look,
trespass argument?
well, look, you have to have kind of like
But
privacy is still kind of
yeah,
intertwined a little bit with
if you don't
trespass.
have that, then you don't.
Correct. If you don't
Yeah,
have any kind of privacy, then you shouldn't have, then who cares about the rest?
then you don't.
So
You
the
don't get
next
the rest.
thing is,
Yeah.
that's right. So let's say you do have privacy, and I'm going to lean towards yes, because I do like what Jack says, when in doubt, get a warrant. So let's just say that you know, um, the better argument is that there's privacy. And Amanda says, would society recognize this reasonable, leaving a trail cam behind? The reason I say yes, Amanda, is because all the hunters do it. They all do it. Yeah, sure. This is not legal here, but hunters are doing it. There's thousands of these trail cameras, right, Alex? They are done legally. I mean, they're lawfully used.
Yeah,
Obviously,
so in
not conscious.
Arizona, we just recently changed the law here in Arizona to where Arizona bans the use of trail cameras in the aid of hunting. The sticky part to this question is trail cameras can be used legally for other things here in Arizona, viewing wildlife, security for your property, all of those other things you can
All right.
legally use a trail camera for. And
Okay.
that's the sticky part.
Yeah. Okay. Look, I think I'm going to change my position here then, Alex. And I see that, we have Mike got lost in the look. I'm going to say, though, I think the better argument now is because there's a law that these cameras should not even be used. Hold on a second. Mike is texting me. There he is. So, look, Alex, so Mike, just real quick, can you hear me?
I'm back.
Hey, Mike, can you hear me?
Yes.
Alex said, change the facts, change the answer. Alex has said in Arizona, you cannot use trail cameras for hunting. And I got to tell you that to me, I don't know
That's
why, maybe I'm my
statute.
intuition here. You can use them for other lawful purposes. You can use them for security of your property. You can use them for viewing wildlife, but you can't use them for hunting. Now, here's my viewpoint, Mike, and you tell me what you think here. I think that this changes everything for me because
The objective point of view, I think, changes.
that's right. It's society part. So society, it's like, hey, look, you have a law in Arizona that says that you can't be using this for hunting. And now,
Period.
Alex, okay, good. Okay. So now, Alex, going back to your scenario, if you reasonably believe, probable cause level, like, fair probability, that camera is actually being used for hunting purposes and not just watching game because of the way it's positioned. Maybe you you have carcasses in the area, whatever you guys do for huntings, right? If you believe that is actually being used for hunting, I think the better argument now is that it's not reasonable expectation of privacy because they should not be doing it to begin with. I mean, in other words, even if it was illegal, like illegally placed, that's probably not enough. But the law doesn't allow
I agree.
it. What do you think, Alex?
No, I agree, and that's the part that we're back and forth on, right? Because it is a legal device, so we know that's say hypothetically being used illegally, you have enough justifiable ness to say that without a doubt this is used for illegal hunting. It's not one of those other viewing for security of your property or viewing of wildlife in general. It's you can articulate for a fact based on the scenario that it is used for illegal aid of hunting. I don't think that's where we're back and forth. The expectation of privacy, unlocked, open, illegal device.
I'm going to say no expectation of privacy. I mean, I just want to say, like, just because you use something for illegal purposes does not mean you lose your rights. Using a car to commit a bank robbery does not mean that you lose your expectation of privacy in the car. However, there could be some situations where you're just doing something so elite, like the car itself, the way you're using that car is so illegal that you can lose the expectation of privacy in the car. So that's a bad example because I can't think of an example with the car. But I do know, having a backpack and leaving it at a crime scene, I do know that that's, you lose your expectation of privacy on that, abandonment and so forth. So,
What about
all right, so I think, Jesus, dial up over here. Why don't you tell your little girls to get off the damn TikTok so you can actually have a professional conversation? Man. All right, Alex. So that's the first step. I think under these facts,
what in the hell?
I think that if you could articulate that you have probable cause that the trail cameras is used illegally, that you could open it up and look at the for the owner's information. That could be a search if they had privacy, because that could be a trespass, but I don't think that's going to work.
Okay.
What else?
I think that the only other part of this would be, do these answers change if it is private property versus public property? And however, not legally posted.
I think it changes.
Open fields doctrine.
I think it changes. That to me, now you're getting into other issues. Mike, you're trying to get on there, but I think
I think we're okay now. Hopefully.
I don't like it, Alex. I'm sorry. Like, it goes back to, it's just what objectively is reasonable. What society having that trail camera on a public place where you should not have it and it's used for illegal purposes, right? But it is on your property now. I don't know. I would not do it. I would get a warrant.
I agree. And that's why we created this scenario, and we challenge other officers with it and seeing the different viewpoints, and it's good to see it from a legal side as well.
Yeah, you're welcome. And if, hey, I love teaching the thin green line. Maybe you bring us in, because we teach a lot of cops that do what you do around the nation and so forth. So just putting that because you guys sometimes don't get enough training sometimes. Like, you don't have guys that like me that love some of these special like situations we talk about. Your special authority, your inspection authority and so forth. So maybe call me up one time. Bring me down.
We've tapped into your Phoenix classes here in Arizona quite a bit.
So, oh yeah, cool. That's great to hear. And then that means that you went to John Ween's class.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Much appreciated.
Yeah, awesome. All right, my friend.